Hi, Saturday premiere people, welcome. Today it is a Jillian in the space of Jillian, Jillian Day rather than an Eric and Jillian sharing. And so I hope some of you will stay tuned and hang out with me for a little while. I wanted to explore a little follow up to the meditation Eric and I created that some of you attended last week on intention and attention. And part of the meditation was really to kind of explore this state that we are in when we are intending a result, intending a what, a why, a how, and bringing an intention into manifestation is absolutely powerful. There is unquestionably, not even scientifically, a question about our ability to manifest mind to matter. And so the intention or intentional structure that I think we have been immersed in for many years in our personal development as a pathway, as a perfect pathway to bring about universal yielding, the power that is, and the power of our ability to visionate or envision it through an intention. So really familiar in one form and also very empowering. Now, what happens when that dissolves? Meaning, what happens when a force, a quality of energy, light, and information known as the Reconnective healing frequencies becomes a part of a receiving where the mind, the object of reality, I'm going to even say, the modified consciousness where all of our thoughts and our feelings and our behaviors and our perceptions and our identity dissolves. And really our attention in a, really not even a state, I'm going to say, in a space of witnessing and observing takes over. And it takes over unintentionally, without an intention to take over or not to take over. And I am resistant to use the word without permission, but I'm going to use the idea that the engagement of the reconnective healing intelligence interrupts without permission this capacity of our mind to be focused on the content of any one or many possibilities that we're seeking. It dissipates the fusion or the connection between our cognitive or modified consciousness, our mind that identifies with subject, object, and simply leaves us in the possibility of bringing awareness, the awareness that we are, the awareness from which all experience presents itself. It leaves us in this exchange, this omnidirectional presence, but in a one-way direction where our attention is on receiving it. And that level of attention leaves us with what I refer to as the is. Not the why or the what or the how, but the is. So I would ask you to just put into the chat, if I wanted you to consider, what is your is? What is your is? What might you write? And if you are contemplating this understanding of an is, consider that it is a being. It is a way that you exist as beingness, and allow that concept to just be there no pun intended, but just be there. What is your is? Just take a moment to put that in the chat. Now I want you to consider your why, or your what, or your how, or your when around any particular situation that you may be intention generating in, or focused upon, or manifesting. That's another beautiful way that I consider intention to come about. But put that in the chat as well. What is the why, or the what, or the how, or the when of a given situation? Or even you can consider, what is your why? What is your what? What is your how? What is your when? Take a moment and just put that in the chat. Okay, and the reason that I create in this conversation the contrast is I want you to just observe and notice what comes easily to you to express this in the chat. When you ask yourself, what is my is that there? Is it just there, even though you might know why it's there, or how it just appeared there? Is it there? Is there something for you to share in the chat about your is? Then I want you to consider the activity of what happens when you ask yourself, what is your why? What is your what? What is your how? What is your when? And just observe how you go about seeking that answer. Okay? Now I just want to take 2 or 3 minutes, and if you're new to Reconnective healing, or what exactly is happening in this conversation, don't worry, just follow along. I'd love us to take just a moment, and I want to, eyes wide open, I want to just bring the frequencies into our awareness. And for just 2 minutes, let's play with is. 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 Now close your eyes for another 30 seconds and explore the understanding of what is your is. Okay, now open your eyes, and for a moment, take one more opportunity to put into the chat, my is blank, whatever comes to you. My is what would you say? Now take one more leap here and put into the chat, my why is. My what and answer that. And I know that this might feel like just a semantic, if you will, to explore the contrast or the innate meaning. How and in what way are we receiving an understanding here of these two questions? Intention allows the why and the what to be defined. Intention gives frame or perspective to the object of our experience, to all objects in our experience. That is how we perceive the object of our experience, through the what, the why, the how, and the when, the height, the width, the depth, and the time. In our attention becomes part of what has been invisible being made visible. And it isn't a linear, it's a dimensional idea of visible. It isn't something we see with our eyes. It's a listening versus a seeing. So here we have the receiving of listening beyond the objects or the experience of the space that we have become part of. And that aspect of the intelligence of energy, light, and information being available, and I'm going to say even transforming our known sense of life, love, happiness, sadness, fear, distress, anxiety, imbalance. That is an experience that always comes and goes in our relation to the subject that we perceive ourselves as, and the object of the experience completely dissolves and exposes the is. So explore attention and allow that attention and your is to cultivate and be an understanding that has no need, requirement, or obligation to anything that we may want, intend, see, or even need in this connection to the Reconnective Healing Intelligence and our most expanded aspect of consciousness and love. Okay, I'm not trying, just as a disclaimer here, to sell you on attention over intention. I am only sharing the magnificent way in which the energy enlightened information reveals this expanded aspect of us in our awareness. And that is all there is. So take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day.